Okay, we're gonna see how well this goes, because I've never recorded myself doing anything before. So this is how I break down heads. Usually we're gonna start with the forward facing. We're gonna see how well I can draw while holding a camera. So usually I start with circle for the head, obviously. You're gonna want it to be a little higher than you think you need it to be, because like this would be roughly where the shoulders is. And then your neck would connect like that to the back of the head, not the front. I didn't see that you doing that in your art, but just this thing that I sometimes see people mistake. And then I like to draw the chin second, just so I know how like long the head is going to be. And then from there, you're going to take it about like 2/3 of the way down, and that's where you're going to start the angle that leads into your jaw. And then you talked about the thirds rule. That's a good thing to remember. So I do like top third is going to be your forehead, your hairline. So your hairline's going to be about here, but roughly half of that third. The forehead is a lot larger than a lot of people think it is, because a lot of it ends up getting covered by bangs in a lot of like anime style art. And then about like a third of this, so right around where your jaw starts, is going to be where kind of the part where your eyes end, and your nose is slightly below this. So you can do a triangle for the nose, and then your eyes are going to be about here. And then of course they're going to be slightly covered by your eyelids. And then your eyebrows sit right on this line. And then your mouth is roughly half the distance between the chin and the underside of the nose. Maybe a little higher, but you can experiment with that as you're drawing faces. And then your ears, at least when you're at a forward-facing angle, are going to be right by this line here. With a side profile, I do the same thing. So circle, and then I mark where the chin is. I don't draw it fully. And then I go out further than you think for the forehead, back in for the eyes, out for the nose, and then little lips here, and then out again for the chin. And then kind of just fine that up. And then about halfway point, you're going to want to do your drop down for your jaw, and then your eyes go right here. Same thing with your eyebrows, right where they're supposed to be. So this should be roughly the same proportions. And then your ears actually go a little further, if I'm not mistaken. And then this right here is where the head kind of becomes flat. So if you look at someone's head from the front, it's going this flat area. That's what this circle is. And then roughly half of this. So when you're drawing at an angle, this is a bad sketch, but I'm going to fix it. You're going to want to do your circle. I like to do this just so I remember what angle I'm at. And then same thing, I do the bottom jaw, and then you bring your sides here down, connect it to your chin to make your jawline. This is going to protrude out a little bit because the chin goes out a little. So you're gonna want to do that. And then you can do your mouth and your lines for your eyes, face, and then you can place your eyes. Wow, this is not very good, but whatever. And then you can do your eyes, and then your nose is going to stick out a little. And then remember that your eyes kind of sit a little further back on the face. I talked about this in my comment, but you can see it really well in the side profile. But your eyes are going to be like the... Hi, Rosie. Sorry, there's a cat near me. And then your pupils are going to be actually back a little bit here. I'm talking about a lot of things at once, but you can slow it down. So yeah, your eyes are going to be like this, and then your pupils actually sit further back because they're further back in your eye, because the eye as a cross section actually kind of looks like this, and then your pupil is back here. It's kind of hard to explain. You can look up visuals of actual eyes. I highly recommend studying a lot of like realistic anatomy. I know you said that you don't want to be realistic, but the best way to improve your art fast is to study proper anatomy, like realistic anatomy, and then exaggerate it into an art style. And then yeah, so that kind of general how I break down faces. A lot of practice. You're doing really good. Yay!